September 27th, 2020. I just seeded down 5 pounds of rye and 2 pounds of Austrian winter pea in here. And I just came back with the tiller quick and tilled through here. I think I saw some questions. I haven't even gotten back to look at comments since yesterday on my YouTube channel here, but I think I saw some comments asking why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm using the tiller to drill the seed to a depth of 2 to 3 inches. The rye seed can be anywhere from 1/2 to 2 inches according to the planting chart that I looked at on Green Cover Seed. And the Austrian winter pea, in order to survive colder weather and be hardier through colder weather, is recommended planting at 2 to 3 inches in depth. So because of that, and because I don't have a planter of any sort, except for a broadcast seeder, I'm opting to broadcast it on and then drill it in with a tiller to get my depth. This is a tactic I use for planting buckwheat as well. Buckwheat's supposed to be about 1.5 inches or 2 inches in depth. And so I just basically go through and do a scratch till like this, and then I'll actually come back to smooth out these furrows a bit. I'll come back with the mower, the deck on the mower, and I'll put that down on a real low setting, not turn the mower deck on, just put the deck down basically as a grader, and I go through and grade it with that. And I may come back with the roller and just roll it to tamp it nice and even. We'll see. I may hold off. We're supposed to get rain here in the next few days, so I may hold off and come back with that after a shot of rain, because it'll press flatter and nicer a little bit better. Anyway, this one is in, and I guess we'll just take a quick look down at the other block. I haven't gotten over there with the tiller yet, but I just wanted to show the stage in between. So this block is seeded also. These two blocks are actually the same size. They're both 2,500 square feet, 100 by 25. So this is seeded with 2 pounds of Austrian winter pea, and I did 6 pounds of rye in here, just a little extra overseed, because not all of this is going to be tilled, or at least that's what I'm thinking right now. I may change my mind as I get in here and start tilling. I also just wanted to show briefly, as I was mowing through here the other day, and as I've been around here with the seeder, I see a bunch of the buckwheat that was here before reseeded and is popping back up. That might provide a nice nurse crop if the weather stays warm for a little bit longer. But that'll kill off pretty easily with the frost, and then the rye and Austrian winter pea will come through that. Alright, that's the update for now. Okay, you can see that smooths out pretty nice after a couple of passes with the deck down. Usually run around a 2 or a 1.5. Depends on what the soil's like and how it's grading or spreading. But it takes most of these dead furrows out pretty well, evens the soil out pretty well, mixes the seed and the soil together well. And after we come through with the tiller, the seed should be pretty well settled into these furrows for the most part. And then when we come back and we grade off like that, we make sure that the seed is buried fairly well. And then, like I said, after this gets a shot of rain, I'll come back probably with the roller and just roll this and press it a little bit, just to get good seed to soil contact. Before, or probably even more likely during the rain, I'll come back out here with a foliar feed / drench. Well, it's not really a foliar feed because it's seed, but similar components, a nutritional supplement for everything, as well as a full range of inoculants: BioCoat Gold, Biogenesis, Spectrum Extra, and biostimulants, Micro 5000 and PZ 1000, just to ensure good germination, good soil health, and immediate pairing with biology. We always want our biology in and on the seed and the soil immediately, right from the beginning when we plant it. Ideally, you would inoculate your seed first, but I'm not really set up for that here, so I do a post-inoculation with the foliar gun, where I just basically spray the nutrition and the inoculant in. When you're doing that, typically you would want to do that before you till in. But I find that doesn't really work well with the tiller because it makes sort of mud cakes. It can be kind of messy. So I tend to do it afterward. Oftentimes, if I'm planting right before a rain, I'll pair it with the rain, and I'll come out here and I'll shoot it while it's raining, so that the rain's drilling that biology and nutrition in, and making sure that it gets into the seed and gets established. So doing my best to kind of play the line between the equipment that I have, the knowledge that I have, and the tools that I have available to me. So, alright, this is planted. I gotta get to the next block, and I also gotta harvest out some buckwheat seed. Just love how green and yellow that contrast is on those sunflowers. It's official. The crowing match has begun. Decided I'm going to till this whole block in just to get good seed set. But on my way through here, I'm seeing micro differences even between where the corn row was and where the buckwheat was. Where the corn row was, the soil's darker, it's moister, you know, it's just a very clearly better soil, and when I feel the tiller cut through it, it's cutting much more quickly. And of course we can see good aggregate in here, good you know, little crumb structure sort of. So just an interesting comparison. Here's a corner, you can see that fibrous network that I was talking about in the other video. Alright, carry on. Alright, it's all cut up, it's seeded. I'm going to come back with the mower and grade it a bit. And then when we get the rain, I'll put down inoculants and drenches. I might check the radar if I see rain coming pretty assuredly. I might put the inoculants down right before it. Anyway, it wasn't too bad to cut up with the tiller after all the chop with the mower. Definitely want to eventually move to a roller chopper, something like the McFarland roller chopper, probably in the future, and be able to roll and chop and seed and not have to do as much tilling and not have to do as much soil disturbance. But for now, we're ready to go, and time to move on to harvest of buckwheat seed and then prepping for cover cropping in other areas. Well, I opted to come back and roll it down. It definitely helped flatten it out nice. And the other benefit from that is it presses all this mulch down nice and firm against the soil, so that when I get inoculants in here and the rains come on, it stays in contact with the soil and can break down and hold moisture and incorporate a little easier. Anyway, this came out pretty good as a planting. I have to say, one thing I really like about cover crops is machine planting. Most of what I've done up until now has been hand planting, and it's awfully time consuming. It's nice to jump on a machine and just go around with the seeder and jump back on and go around with the roller and be done. I hope I can keep scaling up in that direction. Here's just a quick clip of the other spot, all rolled in. Nice and smooth, ready to grow again. Okay, I came through here and hand seeded rye in here. And I'm just going to come through with a roller and just roll this down, sort of as an experiment, see how it works. I did harvest some of the buckwheat seed out of here, but it's a little bit more going by than I was hoping. The frost makes it a little harder to harvest by hand, so given how cheap it is, I'm just going to buy seed next year, and then I'll grow a good seed crop of buckwheat again. Alright, on with the roller. Alright, you know it's getting real dark for this, and I don't have my headlight on yet, but I just wanted to show what the roller does. It does press a nice mat. Even the sweet corn flattens it pretty nice. And that leaves a nice carbon lignin base, and if we come along and do a fungal inoculant and drench in here, that should give us some good soil building over the winter. And then meanwhile, underneath this is the rye that I seeded through here that's been rolled down under that mat. So that should help retain moisture a little bit better. But again, we'll see. Yet another experiment. Alright, I'm probably going to have to brighten this portion of the video. Alright, that's it. Yeah, that's it for cover crop, seed planting, testing, experimenting, etc. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network.